Welcome back, everybody. The 15th episode of the Rock Talk podcast. I'm your host, Cole Weber, and I'm excited to have men's basketball head coach Jeremy Reigle in with me today. First off, Coach Reigle, how do we feel today?
Ask me that question again Saturday night. Well, it's funny how when you're coaching and you get into your season that how your practices go, how your games go, kind of dictates your
mood, yeah.
Your mood, your overall feel in life. So it's a unique thing. So.
Yeah, I mean, during the season you're a lot more. I mean, you're more stressed. Are you when you get out of season? Does it change? Do you just does a weight come off your shoulders? What is that like for you?
No, then you recruiting.
Yeah,
and trying to get the right group for the next year. So no, I am so blessed. I've been coaching a long time, and there's not a better thing to be able to do and be around young people and coaching college basketball. And I have two young sons that just love to be around our guys, and I'm blessed. The worst day coaching is better than the best day doing a lot of other things. So
absolutely, no, I completely agree with you. You've been a head coach for 16 years. Just tell me a little bit about just what your coaching journey has been like over your life.
I played college basketball in Iowa, and had a phenomenal coach out there, Coach Olson, who's passed away since then. But just learned a lot from him as far as how to treat people. He just cared about us as people so much, and treated us so well, and treated us like family. So much so that actually he switched to coaching the women's side.
Wow.
And went out to Kansas, took a job, and my younger sister went out and played for him.
Really?
And it sounds like he was a lot harder on the women's team than he was.
Really?
Us.
That's
so
interesting.
He was a phenomenal man and a great coach, and I learned a lot from Coach Olson. And then had a year of school left, but it was done playing. So then I hopped on as a student assistant at William Penn University for Coach Henry, who's still there. And we were just out there and played a while back.
They've had a lot of success.
Yeah, he's done a great job. I think he's over 500 wins and 4 Final Fours and been ranked number 1 in the country for a long time and done a lot of different things. And I learned a lot about recruiting and just life stuff. Learned a lot from him about being a dad and combining that with coaching and the uniqueness of that and the funny hours we have and the missed bedtimes and some of those things.
Absolutely.
And just so I learned a lot from him on how to be a great husband and father while coaching and taking the time it takes to do this job well is also so. And then Coach Rebson is a coach, women's coach at Aurora, was here for a time.
Tall dude, right?
Yeah, yes. Just another great guy that I've learned so much from. And the fortunate thing with both Coach Henry and Coach Rebson and a lot of these other coaches are guys that I still talk to on a every week basis at minimum. So just really fortunate to have a lot of great coaches that I've learned from. And somebody asked me recently, how have you learned? What coach do you learn from? I said a lot from coaches, but I think my first head coaching job when I was 23 years old.
Wow.
I'm 40 now. I'm old. So, but the thing I've learned from a lot of failure, a lot of things, you learn a lot from losing.
Oh, definitely.
And certainly had some great wins over the years, but had some losses. You learn from that, and kind of just time and learning through doing things.
Kind
of been a good mentor as well. So,
hands-on experience. Yeah, absolutely.
I love that.
Did you always know that you were going to be a head coach? What was the plan? Like when you were playing, did you always think, I'm definitely going to coach basketball after this?
Well, I grew up on a dairy farm, and so we were always working outside. So anytime I get a ball in my hands, go shoot on the hoop on the barn or on the corn crib, I would go out there and get shots up. And I thought I was for sure going to be an NBA player until I got to about 5th grade and played against some other people. Oh, never mind. That's not. I'm not an NBA player. So that won't work. So I always kind of wanted to. I thought I was going to be a teacher and high school coach, and have a history degree. And but when I got to the college part, and Coach Henry gave me that chance, I'm like, oh man, this is what I want to do. These guys love basketball as much as I do. They want to do it year round. And then got into the recruiting part. So I just can't imagine doing anything besides coaching.
Yeah.
Coaching college basketball. And coaching basketball at this level, I think is just as pure as it gets. So I really enjoy.
It's really about, these guys really got to want to be here. They got to want to play basketball.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. What's your favorite part of coaching? Is it the recruiting side? Is it the actual on the court stuff? What about coaching to you is really gets you going?
I think just showing guys that basketball is just like a microcosm of life. Like I think everything we do in basketball, like when you watch us play, I want you to see a group of guys that work really hard. like that's a life quality. And I mean, you can hire anybody that's going to work really hard.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think also just being a really unselfish group. Again, that's another life quality. If you got a young man that, hey, that guy works really hard and is really unselfish, man, who wouldn't want to hire that person
Exactly.
to do whatever, run a company or teach or whatever a lot of our guys are going into. So I think that basketball can just teach a lot of life lessons. It can reveal character. It can build character. That's probably my favorite part. Obviously, the X and O's are always fun. Sit down in the office and see Coach Deemer, Coach Pellicini just drawing up plays and going over some stuff. That's always a lot of fun. But I think just the people is what make this so special, and the type of guys we have, and every day, win or lose, you can look around the room of guys and say we have good character guys that we're going to
guys that you want to spend time with.
Yeah. I mean, we spend time on road trips and in restaurants and hotels occasionally, stuff like that. Like, I want people that I can trust, and I certainly have a group of guys that I really trust.
That's great to hear. Let's pivot just a little bit. And you brought them up, Tyler Pellicini and Kevin Deemer, your two assistants. Just talk about a little what they do in the program and how much their help means to you.
Yeah, they do a lot. I trust those guys a lot. I've had a lot of great assistant coaches over the years. Mm-hmm. Guys are head coaches and guys coaching all over the place, and they do a lot. Again, keep going back to being a dad. Like, it's a unique thing, and to have assistant coaches I can trust doing stuff that takes some stuff off my hands is huge. And Coach Deemer, I mean, that was just when I found out he could potentially want to coach with us. That was just a no-brainer. He's been he's as Rockford as it gets.
Oh yeah.
He's done so much, and when I took over this program, and he came back to play for us, it just he fully bought into what we were doing and just let us. I've said this multiple times about Kevin. He's never had an off day. Just from an energy standpoint, focus standpoint, just leadership. And so for him it was just a natural transition for him to come back and coach with us. Such a passion for our program, passion for doing things the right way, cares about the guys. Everything our program is about, he embodies really well. And I don't go outside my circle hiring very often. A lot of the guys I've hired have been former players or somebody that I was coached with a coach that I know. And so our Coach Pellicini was a little bit different, where he had worked with Quadre Lawless, and Quadre Lawless' son was an All-American for me several years back.
Yeah.
And he said, Coach Pellicini is a smart, really bright, hardworking individual. He's got to give a look to. And I got the chance to kind of see him operate at a camp and talk with him over time. And you can just tell in your conversations with Coach Pellicini, just a really intelligent guy. He's been around high school basketball, was also around Purdue, which is obviously a really quality program, and Coach Painter. So he brings a different element of things to our staff as well, and brought some really great fresh ideas and different things that we can go over. Just those guys are both extremely hard-working, all about our program, and it's just, again, really, really fortunate to have them on our staff.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've talked to both of them, great dudes, and you could just tell. I mean, they live and they breathe basketball. Yep. And that's exactly the kind of guys you want on your staff. I mean, just great stuff. Let's talk a little bit about the team. You're 2 games in, 0-2 right now, two tough opponents that you've played. How do you feel about the squad? I mean, we got our home opener coming in 2 days. Just tell me a little bit, what's it like? What's the feeling like here early in the season?
Well, the schedule was by design, as far as, we know Bethany Lutheran's a team that's just been in the national tournament. They've been in 3 straight national tournaments, so we knew what kind of quality of players they were. And Gustavus Adolphus, I think, was 21-5 last year, 15-1 and won their league. Another really, really good opponent. And then Monmouth coming up, won 20 games last year, won their conference, preseason pick to win their conference again. So we knew this was going to be a tough stretch to start the season, along with Illinois State coming up as obviously an exhibition game, but still a tough stretch. But I felt coming into it that we need to come out and compete and do little things right and to give ourselves a chance to win. Yeah. I also knew that sometimes when you're scheduling, like, okay, we got to get some games there where we can get some confidence builders. I just felt with this group, with a key group of returners and Jaden Bell and Devon Oregon and Donovan Grunlow and Trey Miller and some of those guys like that, we felt like, hey, they have the character to withstand some adversity, because we knew we were going to see some adversity. Now, quite frankly, it's a little bit more adversity than I
anticipated.
I know. Sometimes we have to manufacture some adversity in practice and do some things to kind of to test our will a little bit early on. We haven't had to manufacture any adversity. No. We've had plenty of adversity come out without that. But again, I think we go back to having character. I've had a lot of talented players over the years, and you can have all the talent if you want, but it's not if you hit a tough patch, is when you hit a tough patch that you have to have the character to persevere and get through that. So we knew we were going to have some tough times early on here. And, again, I could look around that locker room, look around that room, look at each guy in the face and know we have the character to persevere some of these difficult times. So like I say, it was certainly the score. I don't think the scores don't reflect where we're at. But we go back and watch the film, and we've had a lot of great film sessions from those two games. And there's times where, maybe that team just had, more athletic in a certain position or something they could do. But the really detailed stuff that we talk about, we have to do really, really well. We can't afford to make the self-inflicted mistakes of a silly turnover. If some team, you're going to have some turnovers. Team forces turnover is one thing, but if we have a hit ahead where we're just kind of sloppy catching the ball and goes out of bounds, or we're not looking to pass in or make an errant pass, we can't have.
You can't beat yourselves.
We can't do those. No. The details of boxing the body out of every possession. I've had some teams where you got a bunch of athletic guys that maybe you miss a box out, but you're still able to get the rebound.
Yeah.
Well, that's not the case with us. We have to make sure when a shot goes up, we're finding the body and boxing out and finishing off a possession defensively. Again, we have to set great screens. At times, you have teams that are just some really good natural scorers and guys that are really athletic, and maybe you don't set a perfect screen, but you still get a guy a shot that he's looking for. We have to be really great at screening. So just all the detailed stuff we have to be better at. And so the encouraging part from watching that film is like, look at all these errors that we made that were self-inflicted that we have to correct and fix, and we can fix them, and we will fix them. That can make us better. So, I'm encouraged that I think you watched those games, there was never a time where we gave up or quit playing.
Just kept fighting.
I think that's a sign of character as well. So very confident in this group and the things that we can do, but we certainly have to learn quickly from this film and translate it to practice and then translate it to the games coming up. So.
Right. I mean, and with self-mistakes, I mean, it is kind of encouraging sometimes seeing all the mistakes that you guys made yourselves because it's something you can control, right? You can always fix that. Say, I mean, you play a lot of good defense and teams just hitting shots over. You can't change that, how good that other team is, right? Yep. So it's just, I mean, that you can improve. And I am definitely, I think you guys will. And I'm excited to see what you guys have coming up this year. You want to talk a little bit about Monmouth. I mean, home opener, 3 p.m. on Saturday. That's a pretty good team. I mean, they're coming back. They had the freshman of the year, who was also the player of the year, Zay Brown, in the Midwest Conference. I mean, tell me a little bit about just the preliminary scouting that you guys have been doing and what you think about that game coming up.
Yeah, Zay Brown was one of the best players we saw last year. He is really talented. Could do a lot of different things on the floor with his size, athleticism, could post you up, could get out perimeter. But it's not just about him. They got good size. They got a couple of 5 men that are good size. They got a guard coming back that didn't have quite a prominent role last year. Cam Thomas was playing more. They got a transfer from Rock Valley that I saw play a lot when he was over there and play with one of our players, AG. And now he's down Cam Banks. He's playing well, and Kyle Taylor back, another guy. So they're a talented group. Coach does a good job with that group. I think for us, again, we'll go over scout stuff. We're going to talk a lot about them.
Yeah.
But I think early on in the year, the emphasis is really got to be on us and correcting our things because we can understand what they're going to run and what they're going to do, what they're looking to do. But if we're still making those self-inflicted mistakes we talked about, then we're going to be in trouble. So certainly looking at their stuff, the guys were able to get together and they played Tuesday night against Eureka, and guys were able to watch that game.
Yeah.
Watch some of their film tonight and tomorrow and go over that stuff. But so much emphasis is still going to be on us. Again, this is the third game in for us, and we have some guy, Cooper Jackson's a returner and played some good minutes last year, but now his role has grown
exponentially.
Yes, exactly, from last year. So he's still kind of figuring out that new role, and it's so different for some of these guys where you're on the scouting report to now you're a prominent piece of the other team's scouting report, and that's what some of these guys are seeing. So that's a really good thing. That's a credit to those guys and the growth they've had last year. But I think as we get in, a couple of new guys kind of figuring things out. Guys have grown from roles from maybe playing JV games to a little bit sparingly on varsity. Now getting some good varsity minutes. A freshman like Cam Hogan for us is just I'm excited to see him continue to grow game to game as they see stuff. Luke Stuckey's a transfer that came from a different program, a good program, but doing things a little bit different for our way. And so just to see the growth from game to game, and not just from game to game, but practice to practice on guys learning stuff. And the encouraging part about that is they've been very coachable. You can get after them and show them stuff, and they'll learn from it. So certainly Monmouth's a very good team. I think so much of it's going to be how much did we improve from last weekend to this weekend. So
Definitely.
we're getting there.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it. It'll be the first basketball game that I've been to at Rockford, first varsity basketball game. That JV game was wild. I mean, I saw you up there watching. That was just a great game to watch, overtime game.
Yeah.
Next thing I want to ask you, though, you kind of brought it up. Is there anybody anybody on the roster that you've seen just a bunch of growth? Anybody you want to highlight, even from last year to this year, or even freshmen coming in that you've just seen over these last couple of months? Anybody who's grown even more than you thought they could?
Well, in our program, what's special about is that you mentioned the JV game. Some of those guys you saw playing that are going to be good varsity players for us coming up. If you look at Jaden Bell was an all-conference player for us last year and a very good player for us, been a long time good player for us. But he played some JV as a freshman.
Yeah.
Trey Miller played JV as a freshman. We have guys in our program that have played some JV, and that's not a
knock on
them at all. That's absolutely an opportunity to come in and get better and get playing time. And those guys, it's so much how you take it. Am I going to use this the right way, or am I going to feel like this is a slap in the face, or am I going to use this the right way? And those guys have all used it as motivation, used it the right way, and took advantage of that. So Ben Grunlow's a guy that's just worked his tail off his whole entire career here, and I don't know if anybody had a better summer than Ben. You could tell that guy was in the gym all summer long, so he worked his tail off. Excited to get Donovan Grunlow back.
Mm-hmm.
He started a lot of games for us last year and still had some. It wasn't always playing 30 minutes, but just such an important piece with his leadership, his energy, his toughness, his communication on the floor. So we're excited to get him back. Cam Hogan, talked about him before. He's a freshman that committed early on to us, and it's just kind of almost feels like a returner in some ways because he's been committed to our program for so long.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's another guy that works his tail off. And we talked about Cooper Jackson. The sky's the limit for that guy. Another phenomenal thing to have Kevin Deemer back with him. There's not a better coach to work with Coop than Coach Deemer.
Big on big connection.
Yes, absolutely. So excited to see his growth. And I tell you what, some of those guys are going to keep growing. So really, really excited about the future for this group.
Yeah, it's a team. Just in the practices that I've seen and a little bit of games that I've watched, those two games, I think you guys got some talent on there, and I'm excited to see what you guys do this year. Talk to me just a little bit, briefly on the NAC. What do you think about the NAC men's basketball this year?
Well, we got a chance to see Aurora firsthand last week of their tournament, and I tell you what, I think that's about the most talented Aurora group I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
They got a really good big, got some really good guards. I know they had a couple guys that didn't even play for them that were really good players for them last year. So that's as talented a group as they'll be in this league, I think. They're good. Wisconsin Lutheran lost a lot, but just their pedigree and their history, and Coach Johnson up there does a phenomenal job. St. Norbert is going to be a team that is tough as heck, defends. I think Milwaukee School of Engineering is as talented group as they got too. That they got a guard that just the Porek brothers are both really good players, and they're good. Concordia, Wisconsin, that Verhagen guard and their big Landers is a dynamic duo in our league. So and that's not knocking bells. I think Marion's is as well coached team as there is in our whole conference, and Lakeland's always super talented, a tough matchup. Illinois Tech always plays a tough non-conference schedule, and they're ready for conference. I'm sure. Concordia, Chicago. It's our league's good. Benedictine. We had some battles with Benedictine last year.
Yeah.
I thought that even though they lost a couple of big scores, they got some really good young returners that guys I thought were really good players as freshmen and young guys. So, Edgewood, that Edge Dome up there is a tough place to play in our conference. I keep going on. Our league is.
It's a really tough league.
It's a deep league. You see some leagues. Other leagues are really tough, but they'll be top heavy. Yeah, 3-4 at the top. I think all the way through our league is really, really tough every night.
Yeah, last year, we had 5 teams tied at the same. Everybody, you guys ended up 8th, quote unquote 8th, but you had the same record as the team who was in 4th. It was just the same thing last year. Just a lot of good competitive teams.
And you're a half court buzzer beater away from
exactly.
Flip it.
Yeah, you got home court in the first round. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be a grind every single night, and I think that again, going back to the fortitude and character of our team, I think we have a team that can withstand that and battle every night, and kind of up to us where we end up at. Yeah,
absolutely. I'm excited to see it. Everybody's excited to see it. Got to tell everybody, come on out, support 3 p.m. on Saturday in the Seaver Center, home opener for men's basketball. I've wasted a lot of your time, Coach Reigle.
No, not a waste at all. I tell you what, you please come out to the game. I tell you what, I think Seaver, that we have an incredible facility for college basketball. I would much rather play in our gym when it gets packed and loud than some big empty arena. And our other student athletes on campus have always done a great job of supporting us. And that I think our gym is one of the toughest places to come play in a league that has a lot
Yeah.
with our fans and the people that come to our games.
I mean, it helps with, and I've always been a fan of, you got the railing, I mean, you've got the balcony looking down. I've always loved gyms like that. I mean, it just helps. You get sound coming from all different directions.
Absolutely.
I think it's really cool in there. And yeah, hopefully we get it packed for Saturday. Is there anything else that you want to say before I let you go?
No, Cole, I appreciate you doing this. I think this is a great thing for our student athletes. We got a lot of great student athletes around here that I can tell. You look out the window of Seaver and you see people on the softball field, on the football fields. We got athletes they're working their tails off, and coaches that are working hard, and just I'm really proud of what's going on here, and I think that certainly doesn't reflect in some of our schedules and game wins and losses right now, but I think because of the character and work ethic of the people we have here, good things are to come.
I agree with you. I definitely agree with you. It's a place that's going. It's on the up. It's on the up for sure. Thank you again, Coach Jeremy Reigle, head coach of the men's basketball team. That will do it. I'm your host, Cole Weber, Rock Talk, episode 15. Thank you, everybody.